Hi, this is Kevin with KGM Jam, owner of Advertisers Club, another episode of Farming Simulator, Pioneers Map, the mod, and I've decided I'm going to walk this all the way back to my base camp a little bit at a time. But what I really want to talk about today is this new mod that I've downloaded. It's called Precision Farming, and I'm going to do a soil sample. And I guess at the end of the day, what it really does is it helps max out the yield. And it just adds another whole new layer to the game, makes it more complex. They really do spend lots of money hiring people to come out. And by the way, this is a vehicle, even though I was hoping it would come into my, switch hand tool type thing. Because right now I got the chainsaw and I have the night vision goggles. But this you got to enter and either transport it or walk it. So I'm going to walk it back there off video. I'll do that later. I still got to pave this. I got enough money now to do that. The 108,000 I've gotten from cutting down the trees on the road. I call it the road to nowhere, but it's actually going somewhere. It just sounded like a cool name. I think that's the Alaska road that they made fun of during one of the elections. But so I'm about halfway. Let's see. Let's save and just hold on a second. So here I am right here. I'm about halfway done with that. Again, I'm doing that off screen. And eventually I'm going to have a road running all this way. Now, I had another road right here, but when I paved it, which you're actually using the paste machine in the landscaping section, it disappeared on the map. You can see a little bit of it right there, but I don't know why the map's not showing it. But this one I still need to pave. That's where I'm at right there. So that catches us up on all of the current of what I'm doing. So right now, let's go and check this out. So my grass is growing. I've got everything patched. That's growing too. And so anyway, once you download the mod Precision Farming, you're going to end up with this right here. It comes between the two. Usually this isn't here, right? So you got this one and that one. So that pops up in there. It's called the Precision Farming. And what I'm going to do is a soil sample today, because it's $12,000. It's pretty expensive. All right. So let's go to, and I'm still learning it, so I don't know what everything means, but let's go do the soil sample. Purchase soil information. Okay. So what you do is you'd highlight your property, the land, and I don't know if you have to be standing, right where. I don't know if that matters. So anyway, so the number of samples, I'm going to get 140. So I guess it automatically divides it into the number of samples that you would need to cover the whole property. That's $7,000. Service provider cost is $5,250. So if you're looking for a new career, probably make a lot of money at this if you know what you're doing in the real world. It looks like they charge a lot of money, but they, like I said, I know people who have farms, and they tell me that they hire people to come out, sample their soil, go back to the lab, and come back and tell them you need to add this much to this, and it's all in the name of maximizing the yield, because it's at that point, I guess, extra money. So if they spend 12 grand in this case, and they make an extra 50 grand or 100 grand, it's worth it, right? So let's hit yes. Okay. So now, what does this mean? I don't know. I'm going to have to go into that. But right there it says economic analysis. 12. You see the 12,000 there on top. That's the soil sample. It's the cost. So it's going to run pretty. You got slurry, seeds, herbicide, fuel. So I guess it's going to run and let you know if it's worth it, if you're making a profit. But I've got silty clay right here. If you look to the right, the soil types, and then I got loam, silty clay, loam, and then sandy. So each section is going to produce a different yield, unless you add things to and I'm just guessing at this. Now this score right here, 53. Let me see if I can get in on that. I don't know how to get out of the. There we go. So 53% environmental score. Why is that important? Because you'll get penalized. I guess it's like a governmental fine in the game if you're not at a certain level for environmental. If it determines you're hurting the environment, like when I cut the trees down along here, every time I cut one down, we'll go check that out. I'll show it to you. They deduct money from me as a fee, as a fine. And hopefully it's not going into their pocket. It's going to really help the environment, right? But they probably end up at a nice restaurant having dinner on me. Is probably how it usually happens when you get the government involved. But I understand the concept, and it's cool. So it adds another whole new layer to the game. It's not for everybody. You get it in the mod. You can upload it, try it out. If you don't like it, then just unload it or whatever, turn it off. But if you go into here, you can buy. Let's see if it's got. I might not have bought it yet. But if you go into construction, and you go to tools, you can, like this right here, this is the well, that's the weather station, which helps prove the accuracy of the. But right here, these are like this is a roof mount. These are RTK stations, and like this will help with your hired help. It gives it a better, I think it's 11%, they said, more precise and do their work faster. If you look at the bottom there, and that's a wall mounted, that's a things. But like right here, the RTK station, all this ties in with the precision farming. It just like I said, it adds another layer to it. And I didn't know what that was. But okay, so there's that. So if you're interested, also when you download it or install it, you're going to get right here precision farming guide. That will, and that's, I was reading it earlier. So it starts here, it explains the soil type, soil sampling. You're going to have to buy a tool right here. It says here, after that you can send. To determine soil types located on the field, you have to analyze the soil first. This will be done with a soil sampling device such as the Assyria Scout, which is available in the shop. But I just did a sample and I don't own that, so I don't know what's going on there. The pH value, and then it tells you exactly what to do to change it to what value you want as far as adding fertilizer or slurry and all that. And you got the yield map, which right there, as I'm standing in it, I got it's growing. The soil, so it tells you, now that I got the data, soil's slitty clay or silty clay, pH value bad, so I need to bring that up. Nitrogen's good, and I'm only going to get a 76% yield with a potential out of 89. So it in a way it adds another layer to the game as complexity, but it's going to screw you in realism out of, probably because I'd get 100% or whatever without it. So I don't know. It's just going to be something you have to mess around with to decide whether or not you want to deal with it. But I like it. Look, all this stuff is so cool, and I appreciate you if you're one of the people who spends the time making these mods and making them available to us at no cost to you, other than or no cost to us, other than the time that you spend on it. You're appreciated, okay? And that's why I think Web3 would be so great, is we have a way to reimburse you, or show you the thanks that you do, and donate something to you. I don't know. Um, so there's that. So let me go show you on the chainsaw the fee, and that it only happens if you download or install this mod. Okay, I can't cut that one, it's too far in the water. Now I can buy this river, and once I do that I can chop that down. So the next tree that will be in the way is actually, that one's fine, because the road's going to run along the river here. That one's fine. So let's cut down one of these two. Of course, you want to get as low as you can to maximize the money. And oh darn it, I got to get my, okay, well, I got to run all the way back and get my sawmill, mobile sawmill. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to tell you about it. Up in the right hand corner, when you sell it, there's going to be a $50 fee for environmental costs, and I think it's because it's this close to the water, and if it wasn't, it's less. So but when you cut a tree down in precision mode, you're always going to get penalized, because in their eyes any tree you cut down is a bad tree, or is a bad thing to do. So, which I understand the concept of that, because trees produce oxygen, they consume carbon dioxide, and yeah, it's good. You just got to keep it balanced, which is true about everything. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to continue to work on the road here and learn more about the precision guide, and try to give you a much better idea of how to use it. I mean, I think what I showed gives you the basic understanding of it, and how much deep you can dive into it. And like I said, I'll know more later on. So thank you, and have a nice day.